All right. Shalom, shalom. First and foremost, let's give all honor and glory to Yahawah, Bahashim, Yahawashi, Bahashim, Rekah Kwadash, and double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and shalom to the hopeful elect, okay? Let's make sure all the bells and whistles is going. And real quick, man, Lord willing, I execute this, okay? To the liking of Yahweh Shemel Shah, Lord willing, this, the spirit being this lesson, because, when I was making it up, it made sense to me. Lord willing, it was just given through the Spirit. All right. So okay, we know our power is Yahawah by Hashem Yahweh Shai. Yahawah being who they ignorantly call God. His name is Yahawah, the Heavenly Father, and Yahweh Shai being the only begotten Son, who they ignorantly call Jesus. Okay, we know that's not his name. All right. Okay. So as you see in the title before us, all right. In this lesson, may this lesson be Lord willing, this lesson is edifying to you so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native American Indians, okay, who are the 12 tribes of Israel. All right. So ISUPK, that's a group, it's a major group, okay. It's a major group within the umbrella of Israel. Okay. ISUPK, General Yohana, you got Captain Tazariot, one of the heads, and this is who this lesson is about. Okay. Pretty much their this false teaching, okay. ISUPK says this is the only prophet not in the truth. Now let's get some more. Let's get some witness to that. This is Elder Manata's Zotbox page. All right, GMS South Carolina 08. Subscribe, be edified. All right, that's an elder right there. So let's get him saying it, and then we can move forward. Okay. From time to time, I will be checking back because the Wi-Fi has been kind of funny. But let's do it, man. Lord willing, be edifying. Shalom.
It's the only prophet not in the truth. So I think people say that because, of course, y'all heard us say John was not in the truth because he was not. And when we say he was not in the truth, he didn't follow Christ. That's when we saying not in the truth, we're talking about did you follow Christ? And John questioned Christ. John didn't follow Christ. And when it got hard, John sent disciples to question if Christ was the one or do we look for another? And that's when Christ said, blessed is he who is not offended in me.
God. Shalom. So you heard that. Let's deal with it, okay? All right. First and foremost, the simple part that I believe to be simple. Let's get right to it. Okay, because you should be able to understand if the spirit is dealing with you, you should be able to understand that the spirit of the prophets, okay, were given to the prophets from aforetime, okay, and that they would never change. Okay. That would never change. If you was a prophet aforetime, you would come back in this time today, okay, and be a prophet. Okay. First Corinthians chapter 14, verse 32. All right. And the Slakia, okay, orderly worship. Okay, for you can all prophesy in turn, so that everyone may be instructed and encouraged. The spirits of prophets are subject to prophets. Okay. So this it says, and the spirits of the prophets are subject to the prophets. Now let's get what the word subject means in the Blue Letter Bible. Okay. All right. Subject to the prophets. You can't be a demon. Okay, you can't be a demon most of your past, what I'm saying, your past generations. Okay, and then just wake up, what I'm saying, and just wake up to be a righteous prophet. No. Okay. Subject unto the prophets. Come on now. Okay, give me a second. Let me just copy and paste. First Corinthians 14 and 32. I actually type it in. First Corinthians 14. Oh Lord, y'all forgive me. Slakia. Copy. Boom. 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 Let's get into it. Just make sure this is good. Okay. Everything's going good. Okay. So let's get into it. All right. So it says, and the spirits of the prophets are subject to the prophets. Okay. And we know the spirit is what the spirit is what's in the inner side, opposed from the flesh. Okay. The flesh is on the outside. Okay. To arrange, let me get the Hapatasso.
Strong's G 5293.
Hupatasso.
Hupatasso.
Okay. To
Hupatasso.
arrange under, to subordinate, to subject, put in subjection, to subject oneself, obey, to submit to one's control, to yield to one's admonition or advice, to obey, to be subject. Okay, Khan, it says this word was a Greek, and down says additional information from the outline biblical usage. This word was a Greek military term meaning to arrange troop divisions. Okay, so the scriptures talk about you have some prophets, some evangelists, okay, some different things. You got different offices, okay? So they would come back in that same office, that same lot. Okay, they would come back in that same lot, time and time after again. Okay, let me read that again. Additional information. This is the spirit of Yahawashi because I didn't even know this was going to be there. Additional information from the outline of biblical uses. This word was a Greek military term meaning to arrange troop divisions. Okay, in a military. Hey, Shalom, y'all about to shot Brakatah. Shalom, I'm on live right now. I'm talking about this subject with Captain Tazar, y'all. This is the only prophet not in the truth. If you want to give your words on it real quick.
Con. Hey man, hey these guys keep getting exposed, man.
Yep.
Like brother's been saying, man. The Lord is continuing to show who we're not dealing with in these last days. It's becoming more and more evident as we get closer, man. Hey, the elect is being severed from the non-elect, man. Same thing with these camps. The Lord is going to smite these shepherds in these last days, man, and the elect going to come from up out of these camps too, man. Okay, prophecy being at an all-time high right now, things unfolding back to back, man. And that main prophecy, one of the main prophecies being the MOTB, is really showing, who's really a prophet of the Lord, man, who's really sent by Yahawashi, man.
Yep.
These guys just continuing to show, who they really are, man. These guys going off into these different doctrine, and just not, giving that certain sound in these last days, man. And that's a warning to the elect, man. The elect is going to see that and catch on, but the rest that are simple, they in their lot, man.
Yeah. You're right. It says the simple pass on and are punished. Okay. Go, yeah, Con. So let me wrap. Hey, Thwada, bro, for jumping on. So give me your tools. Con. All right, then. Shalom. Y'all about to Shabakatah. How about that, bro? All right, now. All right. Okay, so as you see here, this word was a Greek military term meaning to arrange troop divisions. And now you have in the scriptures, the Lord has given some prophets, evangelists. It's looking like I might have to go there. Some prophets. Okay. All right. And I'm just going to be straight. The Bible verse, Ephesians 4:11, you can go ahead and read that through 12. Lists some of the roles given by Yahawah's powers to people in the church. Okay. These roles include apostles, prophets, evangelists, pastors, teachers. These roles are given for the perfecting of the saints, for the work of the ministry, for the edifying of the body of Hamashiach. Now, if you go back here, it talks about military term. Okay. Then the Lord said, endure hardness as a good soldier. So we are, soldiers for Yahawashi sake. And within that, within that military arrangement, it comes different levels. Okay. You got evangelists, prophets through the spirit. Okay. Through the Spirit. You know, we're not carnally militant. We're spiritually militant. Okay, through the Spirit. You know, because hey, it says we do not war. Okay, we do not war with the things of the flesh. Okay, roughly paraphrasing. No man warred entangled himself with the affairs of this world. Okay, so this is beautiful right here. Military term meaning to arrange troop divisions in a military fashion under the command of a leader. And who is our leader? Yahawashi. Yahawashi. Okay, and read this. In non-military use, it was a voluntary attitude of giving in, cooperating, and assuming responsibility and carrying a burden. Okay, and the Lord constantly told us, you know, if you cannot carry your cross, then you can't follow me. In so many words. Okay, so Thwadi, how about Shemel Shai? That was right there. Okay, we got some different ones right here. Let me see. And beautiful. A primary preposition under example with the genitive case of place beneath, or with verbs the agency or means through with the accusative case, a place whether underneath or where below or time, when at, among, by, from, in, of, order with. Okay, and I really like this word. I'm gonna get this word real quick. Preposition. Search and Bing. A preposition is a word used before a noun or pronoun to show its relationship to the other words in a sentence. Common examples include in, on, at, by, for. Okay, direction or time. They typically appear directly before the noun. Okay. Okay. All right. Okay, Khan. It says right here. It says, "What is a preposition?" By definition, a preposition is a word used before a noun or pronoun to make its relation to the rest of the sentence, such as to in I went to the beach. Okay, so that spirit of that prophet, you know, was written. You know, hey, we don't have to talk too much, right? Let's do the scriptures. Do it like this, Spanning. Jeremiah chapter 1, verse 5. Okay, in the NLT version, I knew you before I formed you in your mother's womb. Before you were born, I set you apart and appointed you as my prophet to the nations. So once the Lord has once the Lord has appointed your spirit to be a prophet, you're going to be a prophet in each lifetime. That's never going to stop. You're never going to fall out the truth. Okay, you're never not going to be in the truth. You're always going to constantly be in the truth. All right, no matter what happens. Okay, so this statement from ISUPK, Captain Zariak, and specifically, you know, is off. This is the only prophet not in the truth. Okay, that's an off statement. All right. So we did get that Jeremiah. I'll just clear some things up. We got the First Corinthians 14 and 32. We swung it that way. Okay, and the spirits of the prophets are subject to his prophets. Yes. Okay. Let me grab this real quick, and then we'll swing it another way. Every lot. Yeah. Let me see if I can just put it like this. Okay. Slaki. Yep. Like the brother say, but like the brother Malachi say, every man standing in his lot. I think it is what he quoted. Okay. Might not be able to see. Okay. All right. That's cool. Not able to pick it up right now. But okay, and this is spirit that is turned to this. Okay. So we're gonna switch it over to here now. This is this website, okay? says hearing from Jesus, okay, which we know his name is Yahawashi, okay, some Christian website. But check this out. If the Christians can see it, how come you can't see it? Okay. The header says seeking and testing John the Baptist inquiry. And the script, man, there's so many ways you can swing because the scriptures talk about, study to show thyself approved, a work, man, you know what I'm saying? So, all John, all John the Baptist had was that spirit of Berea, searching things out, searching things through. Okay. There was nothing wrong with that, man. All right. So let's get it. Okay. In Luke chapter 7, verse 18 through 30, we encounter John the Baptist not as a doubter. Okay. And the scriptures understand that, man. Okay. We encounter John the Baptist not as a doubter, but as a devoted seeker of truth. And that's all it is, man. Okay. What did the Lord, what did Yahawashi say about the church of Berea? Okay. All right. Oh, was it Yahawashi or who was let me see. Be like the church of Berea. And Apostle Hart constantly says that all the time. Because they oh, okay, that was Apostle Paul, Slakia. Let me get this real quick. Acts chapter 17, verse 11 in the NLT. And the people of Berea were more open-minded than those in Thessalonica, and they listened eagerly to Paul's message. They searched the scriptures day after day to see if Paul and Silas were teaching the truth. So what's wrong with, you know what I'm saying? You guys forget these scriptures, man. You err not knowing the scriptures, okay? A word. And I'm all over the place. Just stay with me. A word, man. A word, man. Needed. And that's all John the Baptist was trying to, he was trying not to be a workman, needed not to be ashamed. That's all he was, making sure of. Okay, there's nothing wrong. Okay, with making sure of things, okay? Like even, the apostles will say, our apostles and elders today, they'll say, constantly check behind us. Don't just take our word for it. Okay? Do your own research, 2 Timothy chapter 2, verse 15. That's how you're going to be able to muster up that faith. That's how you're going to be able to get that faith and believe it. Okay? Not just by somebody saying it. All right? Work hard so you can present yourself to Yahawah and receive his approval. Okay? All John the Baptist was doing was working hard. Okay? Be a good worker, one who does not need to be ashamed and who correctly explains the worth of truth. Okay? All right? The scriptures talking about work rightly divided. Okay? Let me grab that and we can continue on that. Okay? Well, that's good right there. We'll grab that. Let me go back here, okay? Because I don't want to lose nobody. Okay. In Luke chapter 7, verse 18 through 30, we encounter John the Baptist not as a doubter, but as a devoted seeker of truth. Okay. And that's all John the Baptist was doing. Okay. Making sure he had everything in order, making sure everything was right, making sure it was the Messiah. Grappling with the weighty responsibility of recognizing the Messiah. Okay. And that is a weighty responsibility because you don't just want to throw that, you know what I'm saying? You don't want to throw that accolade on anybody, on some regular ass nigga in Israel. No, you want to give it to the true person. Okay. You want to give that. You want to know that you got the right person. Okay. As we delve into this passage, let's explore how John's example challenges us to deepen our faith by actively seeking Yahawah and testing all the things against his word. Okay. All right. Reconnected says, continue our journey through the Gospel of Luke. This passage follows Yahawashi's miraculous raising of a widow's son in the village of Nain. Okay, in this encounter with John the Baptist, we witness how even the most steadfast believers may wrestle with the responsibility of recognizing Yahawah's power's presence amidst uncertainty. Okay, while John seeks confirmation of Yahawah's identity and compares it to the scriptures, the Pharisees, who should have recognized the sign of the Messiah, failed to acknowledge Yahawah despite witnessing his miraculous works. Now, John the Baptist had to send, okay? He had to send 2 of his messengers, okay? As it's about to read right here. So there was nothing wrong with making sure, okay, that was Yahawashi. Luke chapter 7, verse 18, the disciples of John reported to him about all these things. Summoning 2 of his disciples, John sent them to the Lord, saying, "Are you the expected one, or do we look for someone else?" When the men came to him, they said, "John the Baptist has sent us to you to ask." What's wrong with asking? What's wrong with working out? What's wrong with rightly dividing? What's wrong with a workman not needing to be ashamed? Okay, what's wrong with him working things through? Because this is a heavy matter, as I said, is a weighty matter. Okay, are you the expected one, or do we look for someone else? At that very time, he cured many people of diseases and afflictions and evil spirits, and he gave sight to many who were blind. And he answered and said to them, "Go and report to John what you have seen and heard." Okay, and this is why messengers, you have to be a righteous messenger. Okay, because if they was hating on Yahawashi, they would have went back to John, and I'm going off script. They would have went back to John and gave a false report. This is why it's very important that the true prophets, as the brother say, as the brother Malachi say, it's true that the true prophets come forth in the last days. Okay, because you have many are going out, okay, to deceive. Okay, many are going out to fill their own bellies, their self-willed. Okay, but the Wadi Haba Shemel Shah, that these 2 messengers that John sent, disciples of John, okay, they went out, okay, to really find out the issue, and they were sincere. They were not the issue. They were to really find out the answer. Okay, and they were sincere. At that very time, he cured many people of diseases and afflictions and evil spirits, and he gave sight to many who were blind. And he answered and said to them, "Go and report to John what you have seen and heard. The blind receive sight, the lame walk, the lepers are cleansed, and the deaf hear. The dead are raised up, the poor have the gospel preached to them. Blessed is he who does not take offense at me." So John still had the ability to get the message from them and then decipher whether this was Yahawashi or not. Okay, and he deciphered that it was Yahawashi. Okay, when verse 24, when the messengers of John had left, he began to speak to the crowds about John. "What did you go out into the wilderness to see? A reed shaken by the wind? But what did you go out to see? A man dressed in soft clothing?" And he was putting great accolades on John, because John was telling them, this is who we Salakia. I go here. We just talk about the scriptures, right? John chapter 1, verse 26. John answered them, saying, "I baptize with water, but there standeth one among you whom ye know not. He it is who coming after me is preferred before me." And preferred before me is just that from all the time from Mount Chezedek, okay, Yahawashi, that spirit being the first born spirit in the beginning, okay, like it's finna say right here, is preferred before me, whose shoes latchet I am not worthy to unloose. And that's pretty much all of us, man. Verse 28, these things were done in Bethabara beyond Jordan, where John was baptized. The next day, John seeth Yahawashi coming unto him and said, "Behold, the Lamb of Yahawah." Okay, so showing that he saw that through the Spirit, he saw that was Yahawashi, which taketh away the sin of the world. Now, what happened with these guys? They saw the miracles in person. Okay, as it says right here, scriptures, the Pharisees who should have recognized the signs of the Messiah failed to acknowledge Yahawashi despite witnessing his miraculous works. Okay, so John was given the eyesight to see that was the son of the only begotten son, Yahawashi. Okay, which taketh away the sin of the world. Verse 30. This is he of whom I said. Okay, so he prophesied. He had the spirit of a prophet. So he had to be a prophet in his before time, his past time. Okay, this is he of whom I said, after me cometh a man which is preferred before me, for he was before me. Okay, and he was before all of us. He was the only begot, the first made son. Okay, the firstborn amongst many. Okay, the only begotten son. All right. For he was before me, and I knew him not, but that he should be manifest to Israel. Therefore am I come baptizing with water. Okay. All right. And I read on to continue. Verse 32, and John bare record saying, I saw the Spirit descending from heaven like a dove, and it abode upon him. So you think the Lord's going to open up the eyes of a grungy ass nigga? No. Verse 33, and I knew him not, but he that sent me to baptize with water, the same said unto me, upon whom thou shalt see the Spirit descending and remaining on him. So all this great spiritual miraculous works that's happening in the spiritual and physical realm, you thinking that this man is not in the truth. You got to be a different type of wicked in your mindset, man. Or you just been robbed of that understanding. Okay? Upon whom, and me and the brothers was talking about at the camp, man, you can get everything right. You can get 99, you can get 98. You see, like, Apostle inside 99 just won't do, right? You can get 99, but if this is your 1% that John the Baptist fell out the truth, then you ain't right. Okay? And you got to try again. All right, you got to try again and keep trying till you get it right. Upon whom thou, and you know why? You're not right. You got to throw the whole thing up because it's leaven. Okay, a little leaven at the whole lump. So if you teaching 99.99 and you get missing that 1%, that 1% is John the Baptist fell out the truth. That's what you saying that John the Baptist fell out the truth. You're teaching that to the sheep. So the sheep are going to go off. Okay, the sheep are going to say the same shit you say, okay, and be tossed with every wind and doctrine, okay? That's not standing on the truth. That's not standing firm, all right? Upon whom thou shalt see the Spirit descending and remaining on him, the same as he which baptized the Holy Spirit. And I saw and bear record that this is the Son of power, okay? So you got to understand that, all John was doing was making sure he was rightly dividing. Okay, he was being a workman needed not shame. Okay, a workman that was going to figure it out. The Church of Berea, that spirit. Okay, along with these two disciples that he sent out too. Okay, but continuing on. But what did you go out to see? A man dressed in soft clothing? Those who are splendidly clothed and live in luxury are found in royal places. But what did you go out to see? A prophet? Yes, I say to you. In the beginning, we told you that the spirit of the prophets are subject unto the prophets. There's no way that the Lord is going to have you be a prophet aforetime, okay, and you don't come out and finish your mission at the end, okay. And the spirits of the prophets are subject unto the prophets. 1 Corinthians chapter 14, verse 23. Okay. And the Lord is letting you know that, hey, you came to see a man in soft clothing or living luxurious lifestyle. No, they're found in royal places. Okay. But what did you go out to see? A prophet? Yes, I say to you, and one who is more than a prophet. Khan. This is the one about whom it is written, behold, I send my messenger ahead of you who will prepare your way before you. I say to you, among those born of women, there is no one greater than John. And why would the Lord say that? If it was a grungy dude that fell out the truth. Okay? Yet he who is least in the kingdom of Yahawah is greater than he. When all the people and the tax, and I can stop right there. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. So yeah, man, okay. It was nothing wrong with that. Okay. Let me read at the top. If these Christians know it, if these Christians see it, how come you can't see it, Captain Cesariak and IUSPK? And let me make sure before a damn devil. Oh, Salakia, the water, bro. The water. Yeah, the water. And that's the spirit of Yahawashi Yahawashi. The brother Jacob will prevail. He jumped on the phone. Okay, the brother Malachi, he got Matthew real quick. Matthew chapter 11, verse 10. For this is he of whom it is written, behold, I send my messenger before thy face, which shall prepare thy way before thee. Okay? And guess what? Hey, all the brothers can agree that the Lord ain't finna send no grungy ass nigga to prepare the way. I know I'm probably cracking up right now. The Lord ain't finna send no grudgy ass nigga to prepare the way for him. Okay, it's gonna be a righteous spirit. Okay, and the Lord is the Father of spirits, so ain't no wicked spirit gonna step up and I'm gonna prepare the way for him. Nah, the Lord has the spirits. Okay, the Lord knows His spirits. All right, and we saw that right here. Okay, the subject, the definition of subject. Okay, go back. Okay, the Lord arranged the spirits. The Lord gave the spirit of the prophets. Okay, all right, for them to remain in that lot. Okay, the word subject. Okay, let's get it. Okay, hapatasso.
Strong's G 5293. Hupatasso.
Yeah.
Hupatasso.
Okay, to arrange under. So down, I jumped down, had additional information from the outline of biblical usage. This word was a Greek military term meaning to arrange troop divisions. Okay, so the Lord knows the spirits, the prophet, the prophets that are. The Lord knows the prophets, the spirits of the prophets. Okay, the Lord ordained them to be a prophet, as we read in Jeremiah chapter 1 verse 5. Okay, all right. To arrange troop divisions in a military fashion under the command of a leader. Okay, so the leader knows what he's throwing out there on his chessboard. Okay, he knows what he's moving, what pieces is what. Okay, let me go back to the comment board. Brothers lighting it up right now, man. Okay, and verily I say, Matthew chapter 11 verse 11. Verily I say unto you, among them that are born of women, there have not risen a greater than John the Baptist. Notwithstanding, he that is least in the kingdom of heaven is greater. Okay, and bro say Khan, then he. It's like continue on that. Then he and the bro say Khan, man. So if these Christians can see it, and this is a Christian's webpage right here, okay, hence the name Jesus. All right, this is a Christian's webpage. If they can see it, how come you can't see it, Jay? And I want to read this again because it's beautiful. In Luke chapter 7 verse 18, we encounter, and through 30, we encounter John the Baptist not as a doubter, but as a devoted seeker of truth, grappling with the weighty responsibility of recognizing the Messiah. And any of us would have been careful. We not finna throw Pookie and Ray Ray name on the Messiah. No, we ain't finna do that, man. We gonna take our time, and we're gonna be like the Church of Berea, searching out the matters. Okay, searching out the matters, rightly dividing, okay, a workman not to be ashamed, cause you got them put Fred up there, okay, you put Fred up there to be the Messiah, you gonna be ashamed, cause Fred ain't delivering shit, okay, all right, and Tuwadi Habashim Yahshai, it seems as if I'm delivering this through the Spirit, you Tuwadi Habashim Yahshai, gotta be happy for that, cause I thought this upon the bed, and I was like, man, I gotta get this one out, man. Not even just sit there and sit on it, okay? But hey, this is wrong with these guys, man, okay? And this is why it's important we constantly, point out, the leaven, my stuttering, right? The leaven in these men and these other men and these false prophets' doctrine, okay? And they're false prophets until they get it right, okay? They're false prophets until they get it right. All right, and check this out: Ephesians chapter 4, verse 11. And he gave some apostles and some prophets and some evangelists. That's that spiritual military, okay, of Yahawashi, making of the body, okay, and some pastors and teachers for the perfecting of the saints, for the work of the ministry. How are we going to perfect the saints if we're not teaching 100% truth? Okay, how are we going to perfect the saints if there's leaven in the doctrine? Okay. This is why all that shit got to be weeded out. For the work of the ministry, for the edifying of the body of Hamashiach, till we all come in the unity of the faith and all the knowledge of the Son of Yahawah, unto a perfect man, unto the measure of the stature of the fullness of Hamashiach, that we henceforth be no more children, tossed to and fro, and carried about with every wind of doctrine, by the sleight of men, and cunning craftiness, whereby they lie in wait to deceive. Okay, Listen, these guys are deceiving, man. They being deceived and they deceiving. Okay, verse 15. But speaking the truth, not half truth, not 1% minus from the truth. No, the whole 100% truth. As my brother Yakananda say. Love you, dog. Hey. But speaking the truth in love may go up into him in all things, which is the head, even Hamashiach. Okay? And check this out, verse 60, from whom the whole body fitly joined together and compact by that which every joint supplieth according to the effectual working in the measure of every part, maketh increase of the body unto the edifying of itself in love. Okay? Beautiful, man. Okay? That's beautiful. All right, let me see what else I got up here real quick. Okay, I gotta get this real quick. This is a whole nother swung way. We're gonna swing it another way real quick. Revelation chapter 22 verse 11. He that is unjust, let him be unjust still. Talking about the wicked. Okay, and within Israel. Okay, and he which is filthy, let him be filthy still. The Lord is not going to set up a filthy nigga, an unjust nigga, to and y'all excuse me, to lay out the path for Yahawashi. Okay, and he that is righteous, which you heard about the accolades that the brothers put up, that Yahawashi said according to John the Baptist. Okay, let's get it back here. It said, born of no woman. It says, verily I say unto you, Matthew 11:11, among them that are born of women, there hath not risen a greater than John the Baptist. Notwithstanding, he that is least in the kingdom of heaven is greater. Okay, and I got Aqua got some Akim got some Salakia. I got some scriptures up here. Let me get it right. Luke chapter 7 verse 28. For I say unto you, among those, and it is the same account, that are born of women, there is not a greater prophet than John the Baptist. But he that is least in the kingdom of Yahawah is greater than he. Okay. And all the people that heard him and the publicans justified power, being baptized with the baptism of John. And look, the Spirit wanted to come out anyway, because I did cut it short right here. So that's why, Tawadi Habashim shot, because all this had to be read right here. So let's read it. Okay, Tawadi Habashim shot. He gonna have his way every time, man. Okay. Okay, boom. Verse 29. Okay. Luke chapter 7, verse 29. And all the people that heard him and the publicans justified power, being baptized with the baptism of John. Okay. Continuing on. Let me scroll up, verse 30. But the Pharisees and lawyers rejected the counsel of Yahawah power against themselves, being not baptized of him. Okay. Verse 31. And the Lord Yahawah and the Lord said, Salakia, and the Lord Yahawah said, whereunto them then shall I liken the men of this generation. Okay, and to what are they like? They are like unto children sitting in the marketplace and calling one to another and saying, we have piped unto you, and ye have not danced. We have mourned to you, and ye have not wept. Okay. And to end that off, Luke chapter 7, verse 33. For John the Baptist came neither eating bread nor drinking wine, and ye say he had the devil. And that's that same spirit, bro. The water for posting that, bro. The water. That's that same spirit, man. You saying he fell out the truth, okay? It's saying he had the devil. Okay? That's that same spirit.
It's the only prophet not in the truth. So I think people say that because, of course, y'all heard us say John was not in the truth, because he was not. And when we say he was not in the truth, he didn't follow Christ. That's when we say not in the truth, we're talking about, did you follow Christ? And John questioned Christ.
And that's the thing, man. What did I think it was Elijah or Elisha that was running from the woman. He said, they seeking my life, but the Lord told him not to worry, because I have 700,000 men that have not bent the knee of Baal that you don't even know about, man. Okay? Just because they on their own, the Lord got them on their own mission, okay, don't mean that they ain't followers of Hamashiach Yahawashi. Okay, the Lord got them on their own mission. Okay, like we always say, not every brother is a prophet. Some brothers are some of those different offices that we named. Okay, but that don't mean they all don't fit jointly together for the body, as we just read. But the ones that don't fit is you knucklehead motherfuckers, you jawbreaker head bitch. You guys don't fit. Okay, you guys don't fit because of this leaven, man. Okay, and guess what? The body is witnessing a virus every time they teach some wacky doctrine. Every time they teach the MOTB is something other than what it is, and other breakdowns that's wacky and it's off. The body is like the body is seeing the disease and is beating the shit out of it. Okay, and y'all excuse me, is seeing the virus and it's attacking it right away. And all we can say is Tawadi Habashim Shai, because no longer will we be tossed to and fro with every wind of doctrine. Okay, hey, Lord willing, that was edifying. Okay, Lord willing, that was edifying. All right, let me see if I got anything up there. All right, and remember, being like the Church of Berea, there's nothing like that. There's nothing wrong with that, man. Okay, let me read this one more time. That's all John the Baptist was doing. Okay, he was trying to make sure he wasn't. Hey, he was trying to make sure he sent 2 disciples. He didn't go see himself. He was trying to make sure. Okay, he was hearing these great things. He was trying to make sure. All right. Okay, ain't nothing wrong with that, man. Acts chapter 17, verse 11. All right, NLT version. And the people of Berea were more open-minded than those in Thessalonica. And they listened eagerly to Paul's message. They searched the scriptures day after day to see if Paul and Silas were teaching the truth. Okay, so what's wrong with John the Baptist, eagerly going to search out the matters? Okay, because we're prophets, man. We're men. We search out the matters according to the scriptures, man. We search out what's right. Okay, we rightly divide the word of truth. Okay, now, let me get this real quick. Search out, and this is why all the men of Israel. Okay, this is why you have the 144,000. Okay, that's going to be set up as judges. Okay, all right, and at a higher level. Okay. This is why you have those judges that's going to be set up, because they've been, tested in their thoughts and their judging matters. Okay, they're judging matters. Okay, and they're making sure, what I'm saying, if it's right, they're gonna call it as right. If it's wrong, they're gonna call it as wrong, and no in between. Okay, Proverbs 25 verse 2. All right, it is the glory of Yahawah to conceal a thing, but the honor of kings is to search out a matter. Okay. And that's a beautiful scripture right there. Tawadi Habashim Shai, because I didn't even have that in my notes to even bring that up. Tawadi Habashim Shai. The heaven for height and the earth for depth, and the heart of kings is unsearchable. Okay. So that Lord willing, that falls on good ears. Hey, and Tawada, bro, for the precepts. Tawadi Habashim Shai for this lesson. And Lord willing, be edifying, man. With that, we say Shalom, call Yahawah, by Hashem Yahawashi, by Hashem Kakwadash. Double honor to the apostles and elders, great millstone, and shalom to the hopeful elect. Shalom.